If you're ready to gain clarity, align with God's calling, and activate the habits that accelerate real growth in your life, you're in the right spot. This is the Worthy Woman Podcast. My name is Amy Ramsey. I'm a Jesus follower, a certified high performance coach, and a life and leadership strategist. This is where you'll come to for real life coaching, strategies, and tools, all delivered through a Bible-based and science-backed approach to help you walk worthy of that calling that's inside of you and make the impact that God designed you to carry. Let's go straight to the episode.
Have you ever started a book and didn't finish it? Maybe a devotional, like you're all in and you're doing it and somehow or another you got off track or got disinterested and it's like 1/3 of the way done. Let me tell you, I am the queen of that. I have so many books that I have started that I'm like, I am going to crush this book. I'm going to read this book. And honestly, women's devotionals in my cabinet, in my keeping room, where I'm kind of embarrassed about, like if you were to come to my house, you'd be like, Amy, seriously? And then let me tell you something. I hear about a good book. I am like, oh, I am all in. I'll buy it. Not even think twice about it. All of the 20 that I've started and haven't read. Here's the thing. Here's what I want to share with you. I was actually talking with a coaching client the other day, and she was telling me the same thing. She was like, I just need to get back. I need to get back. And she actually hired me to help her to establish more structure. But one of the things that I know is that oftentimes when we have situations like unfinished things, and it's not just a book or a devotional, maybe it's a goal. Maybe it's a health and wellness habit that you really want to establish. Maybe it is a dream or a desire. God's placed it in your heart and you know it and you kind of start and then you don't go for it. And you might be thinking, I just lack discipline because you haven't finished it. You haven't finished this thing. And I know that it's just a common thing for us to think, why do I keep doing this? Why do I start strong and then I fall off? And so I want you to hear me right now. There's nothing wrong with you at all. If my story of the quintessential queen of unfinished books is helpful, I hope so. And this episode for you today this is more than just unfinished books. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your relationship with God, your time with God. Like, you know what? It's just not been happening consistently. Maybe it's a business idea, a goal you know you're meant to step into, but you keep finding yourself in that same cycle. You start strong, you're excited, you have clarity, but then life gets full. Maybe you fall off track of what you were trying to accomplish, get overwhelmed, life happens, and then what mattered starts slipping. So this episode is for you if you keep starting things, but you're not finishing them. You feel busy all the time, but if you're being really honest, you're not moving forward. Or if you've lost momentum more times than you can count. And maybe you struggle to stay consistent, just consistent with it, like just staying in it. And it's important. And I want to speak to you very clearly, especially if this is you. If you know you're called for more, but you don't have a clear path to follow through. Because today in this podcast, we're going to get to the root of why this keeps happening. And more importantly, let's solve it. Come on, right? Let's solve this thing. I'm going to walk you through some really important things that you need to know. I want to share with you what's actually missing in your process and why, take a big exhale, this is not a discipline issue. And how to build simple, aligned structure so that you can actually be a woman who follows through. Come on, can I get an amen on a whatever day you're listening to this on? Yes. Praise God, right? To be the woman that actually follows through. Listen, it's not by trying harder. And I can promise you, one thing I don't want to do is add a whole bunch more to your busy plate. No thanks. But it's about changing the way that you are approaching this thing and your everyday life. So, girlfriend, if you are ready to stop starting over and actually become a woman who finishes strong, let's talk. You are in the right spot. And welcome back to the Worthy Woman podcast. My name is Amy Ramsey. I'm so grateful, honestly, humbled and grateful that you are listening to this podcast. It's my heart's desire to help ambitious women align their ambition and activate it in ways that if they're moving forward, that they're walking worthy of their calling. Let me make that more personal, that you are walking worthy of your calling, that you are making and maximizing the most of each day and your time, stewarding the call of God on your life well and shining bright, because girlfriend, you are made for more. I love to teach, like combine science, the neuroscience of high performance habits. I'm not pulling this out of my hat. I'm not just, hey, what about this or this? Or I'm talking about like the science of high performance, which is this beautiful study done. And it is the world's most successful people, why they were successful. High performance defined in the way of long-term sustained success in every area of your life, with joy in your relationships and your health and wellness. Like it's this beautiful, beautiful integrative approach to achieving success. I call it God's way, like aligning our ambition to our Creator and understanding that we're made for more. And then understanding how do we actually learn to master these habits so we can go further, faster, baby. I'm so glad that you are here. And today, let's talk about the truth about why most women don't finish what they start, and it's probably not what you think. And real quick, before we jump into that, are we connected on Facebook? I have a Facebook group called Worthy Women of Impact. I'll drop the link for that in the show notes, or you can go to amyramsey.com/connect. And the link for it is on that page. I love that group so much. It is filled with women who want to do life God's way, who want to live out their calling and walk worthy and make an impact. And if you're not connected in that group, I would love for you to pop over to Facebook. Come join me in that group. I go live in there. I do a lot of free classes in there, free trainings in there. And then also, while you're over there, pop into my DMs and just let me know that you heard the podcast and we're connected together. In fact, I've got a freebie in my DMs. If you will comment the word toolkit, I have a high performance habits toolkit that I will give you. So that's in the DMs, and it's Amy Hill Ramsey. Just pop over there into my Facebook group, into my DMs, and let's get connected. All right, let's jump right into this content. First of all, most women think that the reason why they're not following through is it's a discipline issue. And I want you to hear this from the very beginning. That's not the problem. And you may think, I just need to be more consistent. I need more motivation. I need to try harder. And it leads you in this path of shame and guilt. The science shows us, and then I've lived this in my own experience, that doesn't help us actually do better. It's really interesting. If you kind of think about it like that, you're not going to do better because you're beating yourself up. And it's not the problem either. If that were actually true, that you just have no discipline, you wouldn't be showing up for your family. You wouldn't follow through at work. And honestly, you wouldn't be able to carry out all of the things that you're already carrying out. It's not a discipline issue, but it is a structure issue. You're lacking structure that supports your calling. And I want to give you 5 reasons why women don't finish what they start. And I want you to think through number 1, and you got to pinky pal promise me, like hold up your pinky. I'm holding up my pinky. But I want you to pinky pal promise me that you are not going to listen to this and think, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. I am feeling so much, condemnation over this. Like, we can't change what we're not aware of. And in a healthy mindset, let's just be aware and think through, okay, you know what? That makes sense. Whatever hits you, just think, how can we implement this into your life so you can actually make progress and become a woman who follows through? Okay. So the first thing is there's no clear path. You have vision, but no defined roadmap how to get there. Without a path, a clear path of understanding how to get from where you are now to where your vision is or where you're called to be or to finish that thing, you've got to have clear steps. And this is a big disconnect. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, you're overwhelmed and you try to do too much at once. Let me tell you, this used to be the biggest hiccup that I would face, and probably still is if I'm being super honest. Like, I have had to learn through so many mistakes of being like, I'm stubborn enough to keep going and to follow through. I actually will follow through and finish it because I am just that stubborn. But I have had to learn the hard way not to take on too many things at once. And when I'm coaching women inside of my Accelerate Her program, here's what we focus on: 1 stretchy goal. And then you can have 2 supporting goals, but I like for them not to be like in the same life category. A lot of us business women, we will put like all of our eggs in that basket, and I'm going to do this and start this. And it's overwhelming. So 1 stretchy goal and then 2 supporting goals. And I like for 1 goal to be your health. Your health is your wealth, and we can all optimize our health, and it changes as we get older. It requires a different level of tending to. Okay, so here, let me also share with you here, I've written a planner called the Worthy Woman Planner. And one thing that's really cool is I actually break down a lot of these ideas inside of the planner, but there's a daily page. And a lot of women have told me that that daily page has been a differentiator for them to actually feel more confident to get their checklist done. And what they realized, because I give you a priority of 3 things to do, your top 3 every day. And when I put that in there for myself, because I have like top 30 every day. I don't know about you. Do you that? And I would stay in a perpetual state of overwhelm or defeat. I hope this is resonating with you. Overwhelm or defeat. I never felt like I could do it. And then exhaustion. And that is not the way that we are meant to live. That is not a thriving life. So please, overwhelm and doing too much at once, if that's you, take the pressure off. Okay, number 3, emotion-led execution. Like, when you feel good, you are all in. But when you're not feeling it, you ain't doing it. It's a thing, is it not? A lot of people actually have this false belief that successful people are motivated, and that's really not the truth. Successful people do not rely on motivation. They have a plan and they stick with the plan. Again, in that Worthy Woman Planner, by the way, the planner is available for sale. Like, this is just now a new thing that you can get it. And it's worthywomanplanner.com, or you can click the show notes below and get a prototype that is available right now, and you can get started with the structure and the plan as well. Anyway, we walk through choosing our emotions every single day. And I have a tool in there that will change your life. It's called the truth loop. It will legitimately change your life because instead of feeling overwhelmed, you start from a place of like renewing your mind, Romans 12:2, right? And you choose transforming thoughts. I actually walk you exactly through this process every single day. And then your empowered emotions. And when you proactively do that, it helps you stay into what I call aligned action that moves you forward. No more letting those emotions stop you from moving forward. Okay, number 4, no system for a follow through. You have to have a plan. And if what you're doing is not working right now, I would say that's not a good plan. What I have learned and what I built was a execution engine so you can move forward. The plan that I have includes clarity. It includes the high performance habits. It includes also rhythms of rest and joy in your life. All work, no play makes Jane a dull girl. Is that the expression? I don't know. I screw those things up all the time. Having that built into your life, but you're kind of looking at it each day. Having a plan for your wellness, having a plan for your exercise, all in one spot instead of having 50 different planners or apps or all the things. You've got it in one location, having a solid plan. One of the things that we really work on in the 90-day Accelerate Her program that helps all of us is we work this out together. Did you know that you are 95% more likely to achieve your goal if you have accountability? 95% more likely to achieve your goal if you have accountability. We have that. If you're looking for people that get you, in fact, I had one of the ladies in the Accelerate Her program reached out to me actually last week, and she said, at 60 years old, I have finally found my people. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like if you're driven and you want to move forward and you want to like maximize your life, walk worthy of your calling, leave the impact that you're called to make, oftentimes that looks different than maybe your circle of friends or even the people that you're doing life with. It's like they don't get you. And when you find your people, it's like, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain your ambition. And that's what this group is doing. It is a group of godly women who want spiritual maturity, who want personal development, who want growth, who want to be developed in their leadership. They want to be called higher. That's what we're doing in there. And if you're listening to this at all and you're thinking, I need a plan, I need structure. We meet every week for accountability and coaching. And every single morning, I send them over a coaching tip private to their phone with not just motivation and inspiration, but like a Bible verse anchored in Jesus, success God's way every single morning. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, I want in, because we do this for 90 days at a time. And when you have a plan to achieve a goal in 90 days at a time, oh my gosh, your life will change. Like it is so much fun it actually becomes fun. I had to work on this system for years before I could get it to the place to where it made sense. And finally, when it did, I'm like, this is what's missing. This is what women are missing, is how to actually have a plan and a system and a strategy that helps them become all that they're called to be, but not get caught up in hustle culture. This is like from a biblical worldview. So if you're raising your hand, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to be a part of that, you can join us. Whether you you are just looking for leadership development and growth, like we have women in there that are stay-at-home moms, that are retired and they want to maximize their life. And we have a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs who are doing things, building things, taking the risk, writing the book, starting the podcast, starting a second. We're all over, the place and why we're there, but we're unified in our calling and in our attempt to live this life well, steward our calling, our mind, govern our mind, our relationship with Jesus, and our health, and have joy, and to be a light to this world. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Okay. Number 5, starting over cycle. Here's the thing. You keep restarting instead of building momentum. This will keep you stuck for sure. And it's not a lack of desire. So it is that consistency. It's so unsexy, is it not? That's so unsexy to say. Progress over perfection. I'm so over that meme everywhere. Progress over perfection. It's so true though. It is progress over perfection. Ecclesiastes 7:8. Check this out. It says, finishing is better than starting. Oh my gosh, is that so good? So as we are starting to wrap up this podcast, I want you to hear me on this. You are not the problem. The problem is you have not been given a way to walk this out daily. You've probably listened to podcasts, read some books, you've had inspiration, tons of information. This is part of the problem right now that we have in our day and age in our society. It's information overload, but information without implementation will never lead to your transformation. This is one of the core things that I teach to help you finish strong. I call this the Worthy Woman Way, the core 4. And it's to be faithful to God, to be fruitful. Your life has natural impact on others, to live fully alive, a thriving life, an abundant life. It's what God wants for you. I believe that with my soul. That's what the scripture says. And the 4th one is the finish strong. It is to hear the well done, good and faithful servant, the finish strong. I love this quote from Zig Ziglar. It's not where you start, it's where you finish that counts. So as we are wrapping this up, I want to encourage you to finish strong. What we talked about today, the things that are keeping you stuck, are not having a clear path, being overwhelmed and trying to do too much at once, allowing your emotions to lead you or stop you or sabotage you instead of executing the plan. Number 4 was not having a system for follow through, no rhythm, no anchors. And then the last thing is starting over cycle that we just discussed. I want to encourage you right now, right here in this moment, that you can do it. You can implement, you can move forward on that thing that you're called to do without sabotaging yourself or just not moving, not moving the needle forward. I want to share with you like a victory that I'm walking through legitimately today is this podcast just crossed over to 25,000 downloads, which for me is a huge deal. And it's something that I really celebrate. And I think my next podcast, I'm going to talk about how I started this podcast. This was the messiest action you have ever seen. Someone recently, actually, she came to my Worthy Woman Summit and she said, I've never really done podcasts before, but I love your podcast so much. I've just been binging on it. And I started from the very beginning and I'm listening through it. I kind of cringed. I was like, can you start from the end and work your way in? They've gotten a lot better. The quality of the podcast has improved as, I started on my iPhone and just started recording. And I didn't even know there was there's fancy technology. I just found out about like a few months ago. But it is a victory to hit the 25,000 downloads. And so I want to say thank you for being here on this podcast, walking through it with me, graciously holding space for me to share my voice. And it's my goal to more than encourage you. It's my goal that you're walking worthy of that calling inside of you. I know firsthand how it feels to be stuck, how it feels to be scared, how it feels to be scattered, and how if we allow that to ruminate and stay top of mind and control us, that I'm not going to make the impact that we're called to make. So, my friend, I hope today's episode encouraged you to be a finisher and to do what it takes to finish. Grab my planner to help you if you need that system and structure. Grab my planner for a gift. Grab my planner. Okay. How about you get a copy of the Worthy Woman Planner? I've put the link in the show notes. So excited about that. That's been my latest messy action thing. Like, it has been a labor of love, but it's here and women are using it. And it's just exciting. Like, some of the women that are using this and in my coaching programs, one just released a song that's a worship song that was a project that she had. But we've got women that are writing books, speaking on stages, starting podcasts, starting coaching programs, cleaning their house, saving money, stopping from spending too much money, organizing their house, decluttering their house. All of this with the system and structure of the Worthy Woman Planner and Accelerate Her. So get aligned, get activated, and move forward in your life. Okay, if this episode has blessed you, would you share it with somebody and help me build some momentum here? Let's get this bad boy up to 100,000 downloads. So if you'll definitely download this, you actually push a little button on the podcast itself, whatever podcast, wherever you're listening to this from, whether it's Apple or Spotify or Good Pods, hit the little download button and you can subscribe to it. You can save it. If you would rate it and leave me a review, that would even be better. Okay. Well, I'll be back next week with another podcast to help move you forward. Thanks so much for being here, friend.
As we wrap up today, I want to remind you of the heartbeat behind this space. Ephesians 4:1 calls us to walk worthy of the calling we have received. And this podcast exists to help you rise into the identity God placed inside of you and to live out the assignment that He has entrusted you to do. My friend, you are needed, you are necessary, and your life carries purpose. If this episode encouraged you, would you please do me a favor and subscribe to the show? Leave a rating and a review, and please share it with a friend who also needs this reminder. And I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am cheering for you. I'm championing you on, and I will see you next week on the Worthy Woman Podcast.